Greetings, it's Iain from RTO here. Welcome to another Marathon Wednesday. And again, we've got a viewer's request. Now, this is a band I don't know too much about. I've never really been into these. But I've got a greatest hits sort of album and one album. And the band we're talking about are the Grateful Dead. Formed in 1965 in California by Jerry Garcia, and they're known for their sort of fusion music. Includes many genres from rock to jazz, folk, bluegrass, gospel, reggae and psychedelia. Known for their live performances, though, their improvisation and their devoted fan base is known as the Deadheads. According to Lenny Kay, the band's music touches on the ground that other groups don't even know exist. Debatable, being someone from the UK, but they did their live performances are quite well known, and they're probably the first band to really do jam, sort of improvised jam. In their career, they released 13 albums. I had a few people, but mainstays were people like Jerry Garcia and Bob Weir. So let's have a look at these 13 albums. So coming in at number 13, we have the 13th and final studio album from 1989, Built to Last. Jerry Garcia, Bob Weir, Brent Maidland, Phil Lesh on the bass, Bill Kreutzmann on drums and Mickey Hart on drums as well. First track on here is called Foolish Heart. Now, listening to this band over a period of a few months, I've got to know their sort of sound, and this is a rather poppy song and it doesn't really fit for me. Just a little light. The keyboard is awful. It doesn't belong there. The guitar works nice, but the keyboards just do not belong there. Built to Last, the title track. I like this. This is probably the best track on the album. It's old style Grateful Dead and it's pretty good. Blow Away isn't too bad. I love Phil Lesh's bass line on that. It was really good. Victim or the Crime, quirky, especially at the beginning, but it sort of fades out. It's 7 minutes long, and after about 5 minutes it sort of doesn't do anything else. We Can Run, not too bad. I like the guitar work on here from Bob and Jerry, pretty good. Standing on the Moon, don't mind this one either, it's listenable. Picasso Moon, not bad again, I've heard worse, it's alright. I Will Take You Home, a bit of a ballad, it's got some nice piano. Yes, not a bad album, but it doesn't have the same ring as the others. It sounds a little bit tired, and I think they were just going through the motions here, and so I shall give it an RTO ranking of 4 out of 10. Okay, coming in number 12. Now, a lot of faithful fans will probably go, why has he put it here? But, I just hear it as I see it, really. And it's the 9th album from 1977, Terrapin Station. Jerry Garcia's on guitars, Donna Jean Godcho on vocals, Keith Godcho, sorry, don't know quite how to pronounce that name. Keyboards and synthesizers, Mickey Hart drums, Bill Kreutzmann drums, Phil Lesh on guitars, bass, and Bob Weir. First track on here is called Estimated Profit. Love Phil's bass line on this. It's okay. Dancing in the Streets. Yes, it's a version of Everyone's Done This, and it's awful. Yeah, not a very good version of it. Passenger. It's alright. It's not the best track. Too funky for me. Samson Delilah. Not a great fan of this either. It's just not a very good version of it. Sunrise. I like this. It's probably one of the best vocals from Donna. It's the best song on the album. It's a lovely arrangement. Terrapin Part 1. Little Terrapin is split. I'm not a great fan of this. It's split into short little segments. Terrapin Part 1, Terrapin Station, Terrapin Transit, At a Side-In, Terrapin Flyer and Refrain. It's 5, it feels like it's 5 bits of music that have just been thrown together. There's no flow with it. It's just stops and starts. It's the last but more part of it sounds like something out of the 70s cop show. I just didn't get this track. It was just too higgledy-piggledy. As I said, I'm not a big fan of the Grateful Dead. I just found this album a bit strange. Side 1's fine, but side 2 is a bit, yeah, all over the place. I just couldn't connect with this album. I know there's a lot of people pulling your hair out, but I just couldn't connect with it. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 5.5. Okay, then coming in at number 11, we've got the 11th album from 1980. And it's Go to Heaven. It's the first album with Brent Maidland. So on here is Jerry Garcia, Mickey Hart, Bill Kreutzmann, Phil Lesh, Bob Weir and Brent. First track on here is called Alabama Gateway. Love the guitar work here from Jerry and Bob. Great vocal as well. Pretty good track. Do like that one. Far From Me, my favourite track on here. Some nice guitar was a good rock track. Nice riffs in that. I do like that track. Then we have Althea. Some lovely vocals on this. The guitar works nice. It's not a bad song. Feel Like a Stranger. Lovely combination of the guitars here from Bob and Jerry. It's a good track. Lost Sailor isn't too bad. Pretty solid track. Saint of Circumstance, my favourite second track on here. I love the arrangement and it's a great rock track. Absolutely top draw stuff. Antwerp's Placebo, the Plumber. It's a little 38 seconds of pointless noises. Don't know why it's on there. Easy to Love You, lovely harmony vocals, a very quirky number. Like that one a lot. Don't Ease Me In. I love this. It's got some bells. It's got the bell, it's got some nice keyboards, and it's a nice way to end the album. I don't think this is a bad album. Being a 1980s album, I think it's got some good tunes on here. Really enjoyed this one. And I'm going to give it an RTO ranking of 6.2. Okay, then coming in at number 10, we have the 10th album from 1978. And it is Shakedown Street. It was the final album for Keith and Donna Godchaux, who left the band after it was recorded. So it's Jerry, Donna, Keith, Mickey, Bill, Phil, Bob. Additionals on here are Jordan Arpanatha on percussion, Lowell George, and just some lead vocals as well. Matthew Kelly on harmonica and Steve Schuster on the horn. First track on here is called Good Lovin'. Just like, it's a good percussion. I love the percussion on this. It's got that sort of vibe to it. What a good track that is. France, don't mind this. Good vocal from Donna though. I do like that. Absolutely good vocal. Shakedown Street, title track. My favourite track on here. It's got that very 70s sound to it. I love the bass line from Phil Lesh. Absolutely brilliant. Serengeti, love the percussion on this. It's got that feel like if you are in the Serengeti. Really, it's a very short instrumental, but it captures what the Serengeti is. Excellent little track. Fire on the Mountain, it's okay. Not a particular favourite of mine, but it's okay. I Need a Miracle. My favourite track on here, it's quite bluesy rocker, and I do like the guitar work on that. Okay, then we have From the Heart of Me. Bit of guitar plucking on here. It's quite good. Great vocal from Donna. Staggerly, another really good track. Love the guitar work on that as well. Then we have all new Minglewood Blues. Again, it's a nice bluesy sort of number. Great bass line. I always like a great bass line in a bluesy song. And then the last track is called If I Had to Give the World. If I Had the World to Give. Nice song. Lovely keyboards on this. Some nice guitar solo on this. Now, I'd never ever listened to this album, and I thought, what a good album it is. I love the cover, and I think this is a better album than Terrapin Station. And that's why it's a little bit higher. And so I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 6.5. Okay, coming in number 9 from 1975 now. And it's Blues for Allah, the 8th album. So this is Jerry, Donna, Keith, and Mickey, Bill, Phil, and Bob. And Steve Schuster does some flute. Help on the Way. I love this song. Love the guitar solo on here. Absolutely brilliant. Not quite sure if it's Jerry or Bob, but it's really good. Then we have this little instrumental called Slipknot. Now this is where I think they got that sort of jam thing. It is, it's just a jam, and I'm not quite sure if it was planned or shall we just go and see what happens. And yeah, it works. I like it. Really good. Franklin's Tower. Keith's keyboards are wonderful on this. Love that. And then we have another instrumental, and it's called King Solomon's Marble. Sorry, it's got a jazzy sound for it. The drumming from Bill and Mickey on this is great. Great little instrumental. Then we get another instrumental called Stronger Than Dirt or Milking. Just carries on with that sort of jazz fusion sort of thing. Fantastic track. Them two instrumentals are really good. The music's never stopped. Very soulful this is. Lovely vocals, especially Donna's backing vocals. Really at the highlight of that. Crazy Fingers, my favourite track on it. And it's a bit reggae. And it's a great vocal from Jerry. He sings this. I just love that vibe. Very, very good track. Another instrumental, Sage and Spirit. It's my favourite instrumental on the album. I love the flute and acoustic guitar. It's just wonderful. Title track, Blues for Allah. I find this strange. Yeah. Sandcastles and Glass Camels is next. Instrumental. Oh dear, it's a bit bad. I don't like it. It's strange noises. I couldn't get into that. Unusual Occurrences in the Desert. Great song. Love Donna's vocals on this. Really, really good. This is an interesting album actually. It's got some great instrumentals on it. There's some bizarre tracks. But on the whole it's a pretty good solid listen. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 6.6. Okay then. Coming in at number 8 we have the 12th album. And although I'd never heard this album, I know the album because I know the cover. And it's In the Dark, released in 1987. So the band at the time are Jerry Garcia, Bob Weir, Brent Mindland, Phil Lesh, Bill Kurtzman and Mickey Hart. First track on here is Touch of Grey. Really good track this is. I have heard this track, Touch of Grey, because it's on the album I've got. I love the drumming on this. Them having Mickey and Bill, pretty good, excellent track. Hell in a Bucket. Second favourite track on this. Good old fashioned rock track. Nice riffs. Good track. Then my favourite on this one is called When Push Comes to Shove. Another track I have heard. And I love the piano on this from Brent. It's got a real bluesy feel to it. Excellent track. West LA Fade Away. Another great track. Some great rock guitar on that. Really good. Tons of Steel. The keyboard bit doesn't fit I don't know what's going on there. The drumming's good, but the keyboard, no. Throwing Stones, another good track. Nice vocals on that. I do like that. And the last track, a Black Muddy River. Love the guitar work. I quite like this album. I've heard one or two of the tracks on it, and now I've sort of quite like it. It's one of them albums I do enjoy listening to by this band. So I'm going to give it an RTO ranking of 6.8. Okay then, coming in at number 7, we have the 6th album from 1973, and it's The Wake of the Flood. Excuse me, I live where there's ambulances and come here, so there's a lot of sirens I do. Okay, we've got Jerry Garcia, Donna Jean Godcho, there we go, Keith Godchko. Don't have a go at me for getting the names wrong, you know. I only see what it is, and I've sort of tried. Phil Lesh, Bill Kurtzman, and Bob Weir. First track on here is called The Mississippi Half Step Uptown Toledo. A mouthful there, but it's got some great piano from Keith, and it's quite gentle, and I like that. Let Me Sing Your Blues Away. Love the saxophone on this. Some saxophone on there. It's a really good track. Road Jimmy. I've heard this one again. It's a bit too long, sort of falls flat in the middle. Stellar Blue. Love the guitar work on this, some lovely harmony singing on that. Excellent little track. Here Comes the Sunshine. Very different sort of tracks, some nice guitar tones. Eyes of the World. Wonderful harmonies on this. Some great people who could sing in this band, I thought. Great little track. Then my favourite track on here is the last track, and it's called The Weather Report Suite. It's almost progressive rock. I really like this. The textures. It's a nice long track. Very ambitious for a band of this ilk, but it worked, and I think this is an absolute belter of a track. And it's becoming one of my favourite tracks by the Grateful Dead now. As I said, not heard much of this album, but boy, that Weather Report Suite is absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7 out of 10. Okay, coming in at number 6. Way back now to 1968, to the second album. And it's Anthem of the Sun. It's the first to feature a second drummer, Mickey Hart, at all. The band was also joined by Tom Constantine. So, we've got Jerry Garcia, Mickey Hart, Bill Kreutzmann, Phil Lesh, Ron McKern on Hammond organ, Bob Weir on the guitars, and piano was Tom Constantine. First track on here is That's It for the Other One. Quite like this. Some lovely little tones on this. Good start to the album. The Faster We Go. Another good track. It's more of a country feel to that. Really good. My favourite track though is We Leave the Castle. I think I love the gentleness in this. Great bass line and drumming on that. New Potato Caboose. I think this is where that expression of jam rock came from, because that's all it is. I don't know if it's made up or planned. It's just really interesting. Born Cross-Eyed. A little filler track. Might not mean that it's a deaf thing, but it fills in the thing. There's some nice keyboards. Sort of 2 minutes to end the side. Then we get Alligator. I like this track because in the bit you get the percussion. Having the two drummers now sort of, I think, worked. I think this is a really good track. Caution. More percussion in the middle. This one goes on a little bit. Should have saved it for the steel stage. But that was the thing in the day, these long tracks. Some great tracks on here. Some of the drumming on it, on that Caution, it just goes on too long for me. But the rest of the album's pretty cool, so I'm going to give it an RTO ranking of 7.3. Here's a drink. Right, coming in at number 5. Third album from 1969, and it's called Aoxomoxoa. And apparently this is one of the first rock albums to be recorded using a 16 track. So on here is Jerry Garcia, Bob Weir, Ron McKern, Tom Consten, Phil Lesheven, Bill Cooksman and Mickey Hart. First track is St. Stephen. I've heard this track before. I quite like this. It's just plug in and go stuff. Wonderful track. Then we get Dupree's Diamond Blues, my favourite track on here. I liked it from the minute I heard it. I love Tom's keyboards on this. Really, really good. It's a great little track. Rosemary, we got a bit of psychedelia now, and it's a very short track, but it's full of psychedelia, swirls, etc. Doing the Rag. Keyboards from Tom are great on this. Some nice guitar work from Bob and Jerry as ever. Not a bad track. Mountains of the Moon. Lovely acoustic guitars on that. What a track. China Cat Sunflower. Very disjointed track. All over the place. But it has got a good solo on it. What Becomes of the Baby. Totally weird. Didn't do anything to me. 8 minutes, as far as I'm concerned, it's about 6 minutes too long. There's no substance to this. What was going on? I wouldn't be surprised if it was induced by other substances. Cosmic Charlie, yeah, it's all about the hippie days, isn't it? It's just another one of those tracks that's a bit weird and strange, but I do like the guitars on it. Again, this is one of them strange albums. I mean, there's some really good tracks on here, and there's some total bizarre. As I said, I think there's other things been involved in the track, but on the whole, I think it's quite a groovy album. And I can give this one an RTO ranking of 7.5. Okay, my number 4 is the 7th album from 1974 from the Mars Hotel. We've got Jerry on here, Donna and Keith Gotcho, Bill Cootsman, Phil Lesh, Bob Weir. Additional musicians on here. We got Ned Laggin on synthesizers and John McPhee on the pedal steel guitar. First track is US Blues. Nice little bluesy number here. I love the piano on here. Absolutely wonderful stuff by Keith. Good track to start. China Doll. I really like this song, especially the beginning. I love the acoustic guitars. Wonderful track. Wonderful Keith keyboards and some great drumming. Unbroken Chain. I really like this track again. I like this melodic sound from the Grateful Dead. It's got a country feel to it. Some great piano from Keith on that one. Loose Lucy, great little guitar track, solid track. Then we have Scarlet Beguine Us. I like the drumming on here. Bill and Mickey really doing the business on this. What am I saying Mickey? Because Mickey's not on here. But John's... what did I say that for? Never mind. But it's Bill's doing some great drumming on that. Pride of Kumonga. Some nice steel pedal guitar from John McPhee. Nice gentle track. Money Money. What you got here? You've got a great guitar solo with a lovely little piano on it as well. And Ship of Fools, my favourite track on there. It's that sort of bluesy country sound. That steady, lovely little drum from Bill. It's hard to get one of them slow drum beats and keep time. The slower it gets, the harder it is to play, apparently. I love the lyrics in it. It's a lovely story sort of song. I really enjoyed this album. Not a bad track on this album. So I'm going to give it an RTO ranking of 7.6. Okay, coming in at number 3, fourth album from 1970, Workingman's Dead. It's Jerry Garcia, Bob Weir, Ron McKern, Phil Lesh, Bill Kurtzman, Mickey Hart is not on this. I've copied it. It does appear on the 50th anniversary deluxe edition. Tom Constance on keyboards, and David Nelson does some acoustic guitar as well. First track up, Uncle John's Band. What a great track. Great bass line from Phil. Love the guitars. I love this gentle beat. Great little track. High Time. Another gentle track. This is a lot of gently tracks on here. A lovely guitar solo. Absolutely brilliant track for me, that one. Direwolf, steel guitar in the background. Lovely. Then my favourite track on here is New Speedway Boogie. I think it's just a great little boogie track to get your feet tapping. Nice song, like that one. Cumberland Blues, second favourite on here. Very bluesy track, busky blues as I call it. I like that track. Black Peter, fantastic track, so relaxing. Some lovely acoustic guitars and a nice vocal. Easy Wind. Great drumming from Bill, but it sort of drags out a little too long, and it's only 5 minutes. Casey Jones. Now this is a great little track, quirky. Now I remember Casey Jones as a train engineer, and he was on TV as a kid, black and white. But it's all about cocaine, and I'm sure that Casey Jones was not snorting cocaine on the TV series, but it's sort of interesting track. I'd never heard this album until about 3 months ago, and I love it. It's a really good album. I've actually put it in my little library on Spotify now, and it's a very acoustic tracks on here, and I do like it. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 8 out of 10. Okay, coming in at number 2, we've got the debut album from 1967, just called The Grateful Dead. So it's Bob Weir, Ron McKern, Bill Kurtzman, Jerry Garcia and Phil Lesh. First track on here is called The Golden Road, and in brackets to Unlimited Devotion. Really good track. Some great harmonica on here. Played by Ron. Absolutely brilliant. Highlight of the track. Beat Down on the Line is next. It's a country song written by Jesse Fuller and Bob Weir. And Bob Weir does the vocals on it. It was first recorded in 1961, and it's a really good version of it as well. Like that. I love the keyboards from Ron on that one. Good Morning Little Schoolgirl. Great Sonny Williamson song, and they do a fantastic version of it. Okay, next we have another cover. Cold Rain and Snow. This is a very old song, and it first appeared back in 1917, so it's a really old song. I love this track. I'd never heard it. I've heard 1 or 2 versions of it, and I think they've got one of the best versions of it. Really, really good track. Then we have a little track called Sitting on the Top of the World. Again, it's an old song, and it's recorded. I've heard the original by the Mississippi Sheiks, who first recorded it in 1930, and they do a really good version of it as well. Great blues number anyway. Then we have my favourite track on here. It's called Cream Puff War. It's written by Jerry Garcia. Great vocal from Jerry, and I think it's a brilliant track. Great guitar work. Then we have another cover. It's Morning Dew, recorded by Bonnie Dobson, Canadian folk singer. And I think this is a bit better than the original. I do like it. Then we have another version of the New Mingle Blues, which I didn't tell you last time, but it's an old blues song from 1928 by Cannon Jug Stompers. That's really, really good. They've kept it into the original sort of style, which is great. And then they go and do another Cannon Jug Stompers song, Viola Lee Blues. And I think this is better than the original. They've really adapted it well, some nice guitar work, and it's a great little blues number. I know this has got a lot of covers on it, but there's some really classic old style blues on this, and not with the blue covers that everyone else seems to do. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 8.2. But my number one album, and it's the only album that I possess, I brought it on CD, so it's now on my iPod, but I brought it for the mass sum of £1.50, and it's their fifth album from 1970, and it is American Beauty, of course. Jerry Garcia, Mickey Hart, Bill Kreutzmann, Phil Lesh, Ron McKern and Bob Weir. Additional musicians on here, we've got David Grisham on mandolin, David Nelson on guitar, Ned Lakin on piano, and Dave Torbett on bass guitar on Box of Rain. Howard Wales does some organ as well. So the first track is the brilliant Box of Rain. I love the guitar work in this. It's just gentle, and it's one of their best songs. Absolutely brilliant. Then we have The Friend of the Devil. I just love this because of that quirky bass line from Phil Lesh. Really hooks you into the track. What a good track that is. Sugar Magnolia, one of my favourite tracks off this album. I love the harmony vocals, and I love the keyboard work on this. Just the keyboard on this. It doesn't say, but somewhere, I wouldn't be surprised if it was Ron. It's a great track. Operator, sang by Ron. You don't hear him sung very often. I like it. I love the percussion, like the count on the drum throughout the album. It's a bit different. Candyman comes next. Once again, we have some really nice harmonies on here. A little bit of organ from Howard Wales is pretty good. Steel pedal guitar, I think done by Jerry Garcia. Excellent. Then we have Ripple. I love this. You've got a lovely bass line from Phil and acoustic guitars, so gentle. Broken Down Palace. What makes this track so good is the harmony and the piano and that underlying cello that really adds to the track. Till the Morning Comes, another really, really great track. Love the guitars on this, just great. My favourite track, and it is probably one of my favourite track ever by Grateful Dead, and it's Attics of My Life. I just love it. It's one of them really absorbing tracks with some lovely harmonies, some gentle guitar. It just makes it so perfect. And the last track is called Truckin'. Great track to end the album. Nice little rocker from Phil on the bass. Howard again playing some great little bits on the keyboards. What a great track to end this album. I just love this album. I've heard it a long time ago. It's just one of those albums that I just love listening to. It's got a great mixture of nice gentle songs. It's got some good rockers on it. It's got some great playing on this. As I said, for that band that I don't know much about, and I've really enjoyed doing it, but this one I do love. Always have. So I'm going to give it an RTO ranking of 8.3. So there we go. There is Grateful Dead, a band that I've really, really enjoyed listening to. I'm going to listen to them more, and I will do a live album ranking of them at some stage, but there are so many albums, and I haven't got any, so I'm going to just pick out the best because there are too many to to do. So that'll come up at some stage. But yeah, I've really enjoyed this. I can't remember who asked me to do them, but thank you very much. It's just opened my eye with a band that I knew that were there, but I never really got into them. Okay, that's all for today. But tomorrow we've got quarter-final 3 of Battle Royale, and it is Talk Talk, the colour of spring, the Dark Horse up against the Beatles' Revolver. And also tomorrow we are going to take, I think it's, yes, we're going to take a trip down memory lane, which means we're going to look at a UK top 10, and it is from the 18th of April 1956, and boy have we got some strange stuff in that one for you. So that's all for tomorrow. Have a great day everyone. Bye for now.